Okay, now you can see here we have, this is a screen, and what you're going to need to do is leave the front one on, the front protector, and what you have is 3 other protectors that we need to remove. So you're going to remove the bottom one, the top one, be careful with the cables, and we'll leave the middle one until we get ready to actually put it on, because getting any fingerprints and dust is detrimental. I mean, it doesn't hurt it, you have to just clean it off, but it really, you'll have your customer call back and want to get the fingerprints off there, get the dust off there. So we leave that till the very last. Okay. Now, what you want to do is go ahead and put your number 2 sticker on here. Okay. And now what we'll do is go ahead and remove the sticky tape protection. Now it's usually use a razor blade to get in there and start up a side. And there we go. Okay. There would normally be one up top. Like I said, we're not going to really use this one. So your next step would be to go ahead and remove this top one, that top protector. I'm not going to remove it because I want to keep it protected. On a 3GS, you won't have this tab, so be careful. This is a 3G screen. Obviously, this is going into 3GS frame, so we're not going to be using it. But the 3GS, since I don't have this little tab up here, you can get your fingernail kind of in here in this area and pull it up and effectively do the same thing. So, anyway, and then the next step is make sure all your cables are pushed down. I usually pull this little tab back from the top protector, and you're going to go in there just like this. And trick is here is to keep your cables and everything underneath that frame, and then you're going to line up the top with right there to the top gasket. And this is where I just give it a little tack. It usually holds it pretty good. And then now you'll line up the home button. Make sure that pops in there pretty good. Be careful with the bottom. Your fingers are around these little connections here, and you don't want to get caught on that and break one of them off. Then you're going to have to be putting a new home button on. Again, just tap, just kind of tap there. It just kind of gets it tacked on there. I usually flip this up just a second and make sure my home button pushes just fine. Now you put that back. Alright. While you're doing that, one of the reasons that we just kind of tack it on here is so we don't, if you sit here and try to really get it all sealed down, you'll notice that if you ever have to remove it, it's going to be a pain. Not only that, but if you ever get any, it prevents from getting any dust and fingerprints in there as much as possible. That way, from the time that you have this off, you're really trying to hurry and get the LCD on before it can get any dust in there. All right. So now, what I'll do is, this LCD has some dust on there. I would usually blow that off before I put it on. This is for demonstration purposes. So what we're going to do is just put the LCD back in under that lip. Make sure that tab up there lines up. Put it in just the same way we reversed what we pulled it off. The right side first, drop it in there, and then that top side, open it up a little bit, and kind of it'll just set in there. Now, I don't put any screws in here at this point, and the reason being is I always come back, lift up the protector, and see if there's any dust or fingerprints that I got on there. Any fingerprints, you can't use any ammonia-based product or any spray away or anything like that. To clean it, you're going to have to use like distilled water or something. And then I usually keep one of these buffing cloths free, a clean one, in order to do all my cleaning with. So you just kind of use your spray air and your cloth to kind of get any fingerprints off there as light as possible. You don't want to scratch the underside of it by any means. And that's pretty much it. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and come back here and let's put our screws back in after we've confirmed that there's no dust in it and everything. One up top, 2 more down that side, 3 down this side. Once you get all those in, that's when I come back, remove the entire protection film off the top. And what we're going to do is heat this up to not as hot as what we did to remove it, but a fairly warm temperature in order to activate that adhesive and get a good seal on there. Probably a little bit longer than that is what it needs, but you can just kind of get a feel by touch. And then you're going to come back here and just really work it and make sure it got a good seal on the top and then on the bottom. So, and at that point, you're ready to go back in.